future, hop in the DeLorean. Night Rider cruising, man, there's no ignoring them. Battlestar Galactica, what a ride. Looney Tunes, it takes pure joy inside. Blockbusters ruled, we lined up for days. Video games booted up in the pixelated maze. Movie marathons and popcorn nights, we ruled the screen, living in the lights. It's time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school. Grab your joystick, the game's about to start. A high-score world, now that's an art. We're cruising on hoverboards, living our dream. Old school forever, we're igniting the scene. It's time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school.
This episode is brought to you by PTZ Optics. This ability upgrade. New Wave Toys and their Replicate Amusements products. GG Retrobox. Get 3 to 5 games from your favorite series, consoles, and game genres delivered to your doorstep every month with GG Retrobox, the ultimate retro gaming subscription box for video game enthusiasts. Use code GRS15 at checkout to get 15% off your first box. And
Boom shakalaka! Hey everybody, it's Tim Kitzer here, the voice of some of your favorite video games like NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. And I'm here to talk to you about Old School Gamer Magazine. It's the magazine for retro gaming, and it's exploding. Kaboom! Print issues come out every other month, and if you want to go green, digital options are available. Visit oldschoolgamer.com and subscribe now. That's oldschoolgamer.com. Boom shakalaka! Kaboom!
Make sure my mic is on. Make sure my mic is on. Welcome to Kicking It Old School, where the intros are so long, even YouTube can throw some ads in the intro of the show. Got to be Kicking It Old School. It's got to be one of my shows. I can remember back in the day, God, when I first started this channel, me and Matt Little Pixel would talk back and forth, and people were messaging me left and right. Glenn, your intros are like 10 minutes long. You got to stop it. Can't stop it. It's my thing. It's my thing. You know, I like things that are long and take a long time to get there. I don't like rushing things. I like taking my time and making sure that you people out there have time to relax, lay back, and enjoy the show. Yeah. Anyway, enough of that creepiness. Welcome to Kicking It Old School. I was supposed to have a guest today, but my guest, I was stood up tonight. I was stood up on a Friday night. How do you like that? I was stood up. So we have a lot of things to talk about here, and we have a lot of great people in the chat. So let me try and go through the chat here if I can actually see my screen. My eyes and everything else get worse every day. I do hope you guys had a good week. You know, it's funny. You know, Monday hits, and it seems like it's going to take forever for the weekend to get here. And it seems that way during the week, but then Friday's here, and I enjoy so much spending time with you guys every Friday. We have a lot of stuff to cover tonight, and I'll do the best that I can. A lot of other YouTubers to talk about tonight. Make sure you stay tuned and listen for that as well. But of course, one of the things will be basic fun. But before we get into all of those shenanigans, And we got through the 10-minute intro. Let's see who we got here in the chat. Of course, we have Jason, and he's our moderator here, so treat Jason well. He's a great guy. We also have JJ here, who finally got his Robotron put together. Congratulations. Finally got his Joe Sabo's artwork. And I got to say, Joe Sabo really does nice work. I have 4 more cabinets I have to get from him. I got to get a Punch-Out. I need to get a Mario Brothers. What else was I getting from him? Donkey Kong 3. And I forgot my other one. I had 4 I had set up for cabinets for. Oh, the Nintendo Player's Choice 10. Those are the next Build-A-Cades I want to do. And I really hope you guys picked up those Build-A-Cades were on sale. But don't worry, GRS, we always have sales. We always have good prices. And I know a lot of people have been buying them and finally putting them together, really love them. And that's what I like hearing more than anything. So, JJ, thank you and congratulations on that. We have Stock Jock here, who also had his Build-A-Cade Robotron put together. He says it looks amazing and plays surprisingly. No, it doesn't. It plays freaking well because it's all about the controls. It's all about the quality. And Stock Jock, you now see it for yourself that the GRS Build-A-Cade is one of the best, if not the best, 1/6 multi-cade Build-A-Cades you can assemble yourself. The Cornicade is here. Guys, let's go. Let's get it on. We have Dan Z here as well. Dan Z, always great to see you here. James Hates Everything. You will be talked about tonight, my friend. So I'm glad you're here. James Hates Everything. All good things. All good things. But I'm glad James is here. If you guys are not subscribed to his channel, you're a fool. He really does some good content. And we'll talk about some of his most recent videos here, which is not surprising to me. Arcade 1UP getting sued. I should have sued them myself, but I was a nicer guy than I guess Atari is. We have Paul here. We have Micah B, the Game Genie, noting Glenn has it's not only the longest intro, Glenn has a lot of long things. But one of the things we do have tonight is the longest intro here in the home arcade space. Use code super long intro to save 15%. Thanks, Michael B. Always appreciate you. Thank you so much. We have Zero Redux here as well. Saved by Zero. Who else we got here tonight? We have End of Line, one of my favorite things. Of course, Tron is End of Line, said by the MCP. Happy Friday, everyone. And also, F you, and thank you so much, and F you all out there, too. I will have some FU news here. It's not as much as I wanted to do right now, but I'm going to give you guys little things to tantalize the taste buds. It is still coming. But everyone said out there, Glenn, make sure it gets done right, and that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want this thing released half-baked. I want it to be put out there right. We have, of course, Sir Sega here, wishing me a happy Friday, and happy Friday to you, and I really appreciate all of you guys here. Hobby Hands is here, of course. Happy Friday. We have Mitchell B here. Hello, everyone. Always good to see him in that beautiful car, man. I love those cars. Yes. What else we got here? We have Hobby Hands. We have Zero Sleep. You know, you and me should talk because I get pretty much zero sleep myself. In fact, I had to stop at our sleep center at where I work at the hospital because they were having some issues today. And I realized I was there about 27 years ago. And when I had my sleep study done there, it was determined I stopped breathing about 236 times a night. That's what they found out that night. 236 times a night. I got a CPAP machine. It looks great in my closet in its box. It's been sitting up on the shelf. I have 2 of them actually, and don't use either of them. So I'm probably going to have a stroke in the middle of the night. But hey, I'm here tonight. Who else we got here? Green Sammy 87. We made it to another Friday. Hell yeah, we did. Pull yourself your favorite beverage of choice. We have some classic margarita right here. Enjoy. Good stuff. Who else we got here tonight? We have John J. Have a great time every weekend, everyone. Who else we got here? We have, I never say it right, Rotondo. I'll never get it right. I'm Italian. My tongue just doesn't work that way. And it's funny, I was in radio, believe it or not. I did radio for a year. Real radio, not like college radio. I did do college radio, but I was actually on a real radio station for a while. And but I was able to speak better in my younger days. I think now I'm just getting too tongue twisted these days. But Rotondo, thanks for joining. Always appreciate it. I think we got everyone here. I'll just double check real quick. Make sure we did. Oh, Pliskin's Run. Pliskin's Run. Sounds good. My audio is actually working. James Pacers fan. Hello, everyone. Well, of course, we have the Chicago Game Guy, B. Kirby, and Upgus here. Fantastic. Kevin Clausen. We can't start a show without Kevin Clausen. I'm glad he is here. Goofy Foot as well. One of my oldest viewers of the show. Goodfoot's great to see you here. Paul Bearers is here. Thor Casey, another one. Great. Arcade None Up, Arcade Done Up, Arcade Sue Up, and Arcade Fuck Up. They use every one of them. And again, I know everyone knows I have no love for them, but it's just we all get affected by it because of shit that they pull and have done. It's ridiculous. Who else we got here? Make sure I think we got everyone now. Goofyfoot's here. Oh, Bill's Retro Gaming Show. I know he's dying to come over to the Glen Retro Studios again. Bill, we keep talking about it. You got to come up here one night. I got to go down there one night, do a show in each spot, type of thing. We got to get it. We got to get it going. PWC is here as well. How is the Zaxxon running? You know what? My Zaxxon has definitely seen better days. This basement has flooded a number of times, and unfortunately, the Zaxxon was down here, so it has received water damage, mostly on the lower part of the machine. And the monitor, it is a CRT, still all original. Everything's original in that thing still. And the monitor has some pretty bad burn-in, but I think some capacitors have to be replaced in that monitor. I'm getting some weird effects on the screen. But, I mean, 1982, we're now in 2025. So the machine's been going pretty good, pretty strong for a number of years, but it does need some TLC. We have Gregory here. Boom. Hi, Glenn and crew. Happy Friday. Glad you made it. Israel Gaming. What's up, Glenn, everybody? Everybody? PB&J here as well. Oh, look at this. I have 9 Build-A-Cades put together waiting from Art from Sabo. You know, people are catching up to me. I have 33 Build-A-Cades right now, plus my New Wave Toys collection. Plus, you can see behind me that's not even all of my basic funds. I have, I want to say I have like 42 of them because I take them apart. Some of them I put Raspberry Pis in them. In fact, if you look at my show description, you'll see the videos of the world's first basic fund with Raspberry Pi put in there. I also did the very first Super Impulse, the tiny little Super Impulse. I put a Pi in there as well. World's first guy who did it right here. And so we're going to talk about that because I know they got a lot of hate, but I don't think it's really deserved. You got to take everything for the price, the value, and what its market is. And we have Gramps Arcade here. Hello, gamers. Waiting 3 months. Yeah, you know, he's getting better. He's getting better. I wait too. Trust me, I wait. There was one time I will say I had reached out to Joe Sabo as an emergency. So I had an Arcade 1-Up, and my friend Mary Parker, I want to give her a Christmas gift. And I have a video of that in here if you look that up. I had converted an Arcade 1-Up into a Mario Brothers. Her favorite game was Mario Brothers. And I was trying to get artwork from a few people. It didn't work out. And I actually called him in a panic. I'm like, Joe, I need artwork in like 3 days. For an Arcade 1-Up, I need to have Mario Brothers. And he and I worked with each other for a while there. And he did it. He got me the artwork in time. And I was able to give Mary and her family a Mario Brothers for Christmas. So Joe does work hard. He does. He does full-size arcade machines. He does a lot of things. He has been hiring new help. So that should help out in getting machines a little bit quicker. We have Hayden Dew here as well. I love how people will give the license away like Tato and Data East hate Arcade 1-Up. I think Atari will buy them after bankruptcy. I don't think Atari will buy Arcade 1-Up because it's a tainted brand at this point. It's a toxic brand, and people know it. Atari would do much better going with anyone else, including perhaps a little guy named Glenn's Retro Show and T-Sticks. We can build a much better machine worthy of the Atari name. Joe, don't be afraid to take a sleep study. Don't be afraid to take a sleep study. It's easy. They have usually pretty comfortable beds over there as well. And I mean, I did it, and I thought I slept good, but they said I stopped breathing 236 times a night. We got right here. We have the Fourth Horseman. Hello, Glenn. Hello, Fourth Horseman. I'm glad you're able to make it here. Who else we got here? I think we got down to pretty much everyone here, but we got to give the PWC the FU and FU as well. A happy FU to you too. Jeff D is here. He made it. He's here. He's alerting and working. That's okay. That is okay. What do we got here? I think we got everyone now. I try to get everyone. Or Darren Kane. In time it takes for the music intro and his hellos to chat. 17 more lawsuits up and filed. I don't want. I know you guys are hearing that, but this thing's broken. I'm afraid to move it. Try and move it, maybe. Let's see if I was betting to get less of my big mouthing things in there. So yeah, Darren, you're probably right, and we're going to talk about that and how this community and lawsuits and worthy lawsuits, but still, it's getting a little crazy. It's supposed to be a fun hobby, and we're all this stuff out here. Yeah, I know, Mike. So, truth be told, I have my good microphones here, but my Bluetooth earbuds won't connect anymore. So I literally ran upstairs right before I was doing my 10-minute intro because I have not enough time. And I grabbed my son's spare set that he told me wasn't working. And of course, I picked it up and the mic like fell off it. I'm like, ah! So I had to get a drop of crazy glue on it real quick. And I was afraid to touch it. And that's why I was popping. So I was right into that microphone. So I do appreciate that, Mike. Brooklyn Menace is here. Awesome. And was it RM McCrae 114? Great. Glad you both made it. Again, Brooklyn Menace has a great show. I keep saying we're going to do some VR with him one of these nights, but he's doing it like 11 o'clock at night, and this old man is snoring, or not get snoring because he has sleep apnea, but he tries to. So Brooklyn, hopefully we can hook up one day and do some virtual golf or something. But I think we finally got caught up here. I think we did. Yes. Okay. So let me see something over here. Oh, my guest shows up now. Now he shows up. Like the show's been live for like, I don't know, 20 minutes, and he's showing up. Let me see if I can add my guest who's late to the show. Let me see if I can get him in here. My goodness, you should be fired. If I didn't pay you and I'm not paying you, you should be fired. Let's see here. All right. Well, there he is. He's now full screen. He's now taken over the entire screen. I'm not sure why that happened. He took over everything. What's going on over here? Let's do this. There we go. All right. So we got Glenn, and let's see if his microphone's working. Say something, Glenn. Glenn, say something. I can. Hopefully they can now. Let's know in the chat if you can hear.
In the lobby.
Let people know if you can hear Glenn, and then we'll continue along the show. Dun, 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 dun.
I can hear you from the stream, but I cannot hear you from inside the
No, huh? You may have to actually exit and come back in because you're
lobby
late.
or whatever you want to call it.
Because you're late, you may have to exit and go back in to the lobby. So Glenn's gonna pop
I have a
out,
legit
come back
reason.
in.
We'll talk later.
We have so much to cover,
let me
Glenn, and you're
exit
slowing
out.
us up. Slowing us up. So I'm gonna boot you and come back in.
All right, let me exit, come back in.
Boot. My goodness, causing trouble. All right, well, wait for Glenn to come back in. New show idea, Glenn. Technical difficulty. Well, that is every one of my shows, and that's why this is the show of the people, because I'm a normal guy. I am not some high-end equipment here. I have 50 cameras around me that Michael B loves. I have a 10-minute intro that people gotta love. I have this cute face that the ladies love. Maybe some guys, I don't know, but I'll go for the ladies personally. And let's see if Glenn shows up here and we can get the show actually started. Okay, Glenn's there, and may have to copy him back in one more time. And let's see if this works. And again, he's going full screen, no idea why. Look at this. Get over in your corner. Okay, so let's see. Can you hear me in this, Glenn? Now, can you hear me now? Actually, I guess you can hear me. I guess that was a. You still can't hear me? Testing. Well, we're gonna have to limp along. That's why you're supposed to be here early, so we can work out these technical difficulties. Now it's your fault. You got to suffer and listen to it this way. Because everything's set up over here. The microphone is good over here. Everything's being shared properly. Oh, wait a second. No, it's gonna be my fault. Damn it. Why did it have to be my fault? Let's see here. This is why you're supposed to be here on time, Mr. Glenn. Can you hear me now? Testing 1 2. Unfortunately, I can, and I'm going to tell you again. You were late. You still can? I just fixed it. Yeah. See. All right. So, all right. We're now way late. We're way behind. We got to talk about lawsuits. We got to talk about lawsuits. We got to talk about basic fun. We got to talk about James hates everything. We got to talk about iconic arcades. We got to talk about the FU. We got to get started. Oh, Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I gotta get this thing up a little bit higher. Now I can't drink anything. I gotta be able to drink. There we go. Do that. All right. So, Glenn, welcome to the show. Glenn Baisley. Not gonna put your name back up because I took your name down because you were late. It's on there. I suppose. Well, let's get started because we have a lot to cover here, and the chat is going to get crazy here. So, first of all, Mr. Glenn Baisley, have you heard about the latest with Arcade One Up from our good friend James Hates Everything? You didn't hear about this one? How did you miss this? Okay, so I think everyone should, after this stream and Super Gamer Dudes, you guys should go over to James Hates Everything and look at his video because he did a really good breakdown of the lawsuit. But the basic gist of it is, surprise, surprise, Arcade One Up is doing things not on the up and up. So if we're understanding the lawsuit properly, Arcade One Up and Atari got a deal, which you would suspect, to get licenses like Asteroids, like Tempest, Star Wars. But Arcade One Up didn't really think they should pay for it. That's basically what it comes down to. So Atari got into the deal. Here's our licensing terms. You sell these amount of machines, we get this amount of money. And Arcade One Up says, yeah, that sounds great, but we're really going to keep the money. We're not going to really pay you. So Atari is now suing Arcade One Up, which seems to be this big thing this week. A lot of lawsuits are being flung around, and cease and desist are being flung around all over the place. But this one is probably the biggest one because Atari is not going to mess around. I mean, Atari's not the Atari of the 70s, but they're kind of coming back. They have some cash, and they definitely have enough lawyers to go against a bunch of shysters in the small arcade home community that is stealing from them. So what do you think, Glenn? Obviously, just hearing about it now, but what do you think about this? And the big thing is, we all know, and I know as someone who Arcade One Up was also stolen from. It's yeah, right now. But I'm a small guy. Okay, I'm not going to be able to afford lawyers to go after them for stealing my uh, swappable control design in that Tron unit. But they knew exactly what they did, and they didn't care. They thought they could just take from me, and they did. What am I going to do about it? I'm a small guy. So they apparently are doing it with other people. And again, it's not just Atari and me. They've done it to other people who wrote programs and code, and they found loopholes for them not to pay the people who did the work. So Arcade One Up is its true colors. I've already known the true colors for years. James Hates Everything, Rexer, other people have brought out all this information about Arcade One Up, and people are finally now. I feel like the person has been raped for years, and the people are finally seeing the truth behind the rapist. Instead of blaming the rapee, Atari is not going to sit down and have $900,000 or $1 million just sit in Arcade One Up's hands because they're like, oh, okay, you're not going to pay us, that's fine. They're not going to do that, okay? And that explains more. That explains Basic Fun. With the rumors been going on for a while for that, and we now have great confirmation due to my friend, the Irate Gamer. Right? He did a video. He's at the toy show, and I talked to him offline. I'm not gonna say everything we talked about offline because I don't do that, but I will say at this point, I think we can pretty much confirm that Basic Fun is going to be getting Star Wars. It's going to be getting these Atari licenses, and they're going to be building. Well, remember they had Konami. They had Konami. They had Turtles, right? So they also lost Turtles, and now we understand why they lost Turtles. Because I'm going to bet that Atari's not the only one going to be filing a lawsuit with Arcade 1UP. I have a funny feeling Konami and other people may be doing the same thing, because if Atari's not getting paid their dividends on agreed upon monies, do we know for sure right now if Konami just hasn't done anything about it yet? Maybe it's going behind the scenes. Again, that's speculation. Okay, the Konami stuff is speculation on my part, 'cause I hate Arcade 1UP. Okay, so we know that. But we do know, thanks to James Hates Everything, again, do take a look at his video. I think I did put his link, his video in my video description. Go watch it. He did a really good deep dive into this. And it just goes to show that some of these companies out there, well, we already knew Arcade 1UP wasn't in it for us anyway. They were definitely in here to make the quick buck. They didn't realize what they had. It was a toy. It was a small toy brand that they built up, and they were shocked. I mean, they won the best toy at the Toy Fair for 2018. It was a toy fair. The big guys made Arcade 1UP what it was, and all they did was fuck us left and right. Crappy workmanship, machines that didn't sell. They simply reskinned it, sold it again. They sold it with defective PCBs. Then you had to wait 6-8 months, a year to get it back. But now, the small guy like me, they ripped me off a number of times. They screwed me over a number of times. They stole stuff from me a number of times. But I couldn't do anything about it. I really could. What was I going to do? Right? I can't spend thousands of dollars. Right. Atari is not going to lie down. And Atari, if you're listening, I'd be happy to join your lawsuit. I'd happy to be a testimonial for you guys. I have the tapes, man. I have emails and tapes too. I just don't have the ability to go up against them like Atari. So if Atari is listening, call me. Great freaking question by, of course, Glenn, because Glenn asked the questions. But before I answer that question, we got a couple super chats we get here. We got one from Hobby Hands right here. It was a little old one. Still no audio for the guest, but we have fixed it. Thank you, Hobby Hands, for the audio. We got to give you something here. I'm going to give you some silent love.
By your command, imperious leader.
One of my favorites. And we also got my good buddy, Twisted Gaming TV here. RK1UP is a trash company. Come fight me. Yeah, I agree with you. We're going to give you something better. Who are we going to give you? We're going to give you, what are we going to give you here? Khan!
Fire!
I'm sorry. I got to get some new super chats there, but I think both you, Hobby Hands, Twisted Gaming TV. Now, to answer your question, now, I'm pretty much going to think that my particular NDA is null and void, because everyone tells me that the company that I dealt with is no longer exists. All new people here. So I will say that I've been to the old Arcade 1UP New York office a number of times. I met all the people there, and my personal opinion was they didn't give a flying F about anyone or anything. They were there to make the quick buck. I sat down with them, going over a number of different things. Some stuff didn't even cost anything, just to make stuff better for the end user. Didn't care. So I am not at all surprised that they think that they're that high and mighty, that they can sell millions and millions of dollars of product. Let's not mistake ourselves here. They're the ones who kept saying we sold a millionth unit or this millionth unit. They've made millions upon millions of dollars in their pockets. Yet they won't pay Atari what's due to them that they made the money off of. They have programmers that wrote code and did stuff. They were promised things and they didn't pay them. Promises to this guy, didn't pay me and just stole my product. They just think they could do what they want. And now I think at this point, the big people left the company. We know that. We know that Scott is gone and all these other people are gone from the organization. So it's all new thing. And we also know they weren't buying any new IPs. But I'm starting to wonder now, is that because the word got out that they weren't paying Atari? Like they're already seeing Atari has not received their funds. So are these the reason Arcade wound up not releasing new cabinets because they couldn't get the IPs anymore because people got the word out that I haven't gotten paid. So the fact that a lawsuit is out now from Atari, it didn't happen today. It didn't happen the last month. This has been going on since they had Asteroids, which is 2018. That was the first license, that Tempest, they got from Atari. And this has been going on at least that long. So the word gets out that, hey, Arcade DoneUP is making promises, but we're not seeing the cash. They're touting selling millions of machines. They're touting in Walmart. They're at Best Buy. They're selling out all these machines. And they're making all this money. What are you talking about, Willis? What are you talking about? The Legacy cabinet, you mean? Or the 50th? I'm sure someone in the chat will know when that one came out. I want to say that came out in like 2022, but I can't say for sure. We all would, Michael. We all would love to know. We want to know the truth, and I can't wait for this lawsuit to happen. But you know what's going to happen? I can't. What's going to happen? It's not even going to go to trial. It's going to be the typical thing where Arcade DoneUP is going to go to Atari and say, "Listen, no, we're poor now. We're poor. We're falling apart. We got no money." Right. Exactly. And that's the funnier part. And that is the funnier part. So if Arcade DoneUP is going after Iconic Arcade, let's say that they are. Let's just pretend that they are. What balls do they have to go after someone else that they're saying attacking their IP when they're not even paying the people who built their company? Konami, Midway, Atari, and me. I fixed all the fucking controllers in their goddamn cabinets. They didn't sell. It wasn't for me. So they built off of all of our backs, and now they're going to cry poverty that they can't pay these people? What a scumbag company. I think I actually would kiss Kathleen Kennedy before I would say anything nice about Arcade DoneUP at this point. That's how much I'm disgusted with them. Well, the big thing here is again. I want to thank James Hates Everything. I want to thank Michael B and P Dubs and Rexer because these people 19K Fox, because I've known this for a long time, and I'm just glad that other people are seeing the light because it does matter. It absolutely does matter where you spend your money. Okay, and we're going to get into basic fun in a second because I know a lot of people have hated them. I don't. But New Wave Toys, Shiloh and his team put their heart, love, and soul into the cabinets that they sell. When you buy from them, you're supporting people who actually really do care about you and the stuff that they sell. Numbskull takes a lot of pride, a lot of care into their machines. They really care about the machines, and they care about you, the customer. These are the companies you need to support. These are the companies that are doing the best for you guys. Now, are they cheap? No, but it's not always their fault. Everything's gotten more expensive. Which gets into my FU stuff later on. I'm fighting the good fight because I want to keep my costs down. But those are the companies worth supporting. So now, let's go into basic fun for a second, Glenn. Yes. It was. Okay. So everyone knows me. Those are my basic funds. Those are only about a quarter of my basic funds because you know me, I buy like 3 of each of everything because I'm a nut. So that's what these guys right here. And I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. These were Target, Walmart, Bed Bath and Beyond when they were around. They were selling them too. These were $19. These were $19. But I'm not gonna lie, and I can't have it lying there too. When one of these came out, everyone ran to the stores to find them. So people saying they're crap, they're garbage. We all ran to the stores to get number 5, to get number 7, to get Defender, to get Spy Hunter, to get Cubert. Now, are they fantastic? No, they were $19 little mini arcades in a cool collectible case that did you pressed it on there, and Frogger, they were decent. Now they started off bad, and that's why I have my video. If you look down in the show notes, I put some videos down where I converted Mortal Kombat and Space Invaders and Pac-Man into the arcade ROM with a Pi. First to do it, but that doesn't take away from basic fun. I think that again, Michael B, you listening? Solid plastic. These machines had solid plastic. They weren't cheap, and they went from the bad LCD screen, and they made two kinds. So this was a TFT screen, but they also made like a Frogger in a fake VFD screen, which was a couple of layers and a backlight to make it look like a vacuum fluorescent display. So they did some cool things, including making an asteroids in a VFD. So I take my hat off to Basic Fun. So I'm going to say there's no hate for Basic Fun. When they released these toys, they were $20 little collectibles, like people collect those bobbleheads, or what they call those stupid things with the big heads on them. You have some, don't you, Glenn? Oh, he doesn't. Okay. So Basic Fun, do they build the highest quality stuff? No. Do they build in the price range something I think pretty decent and collectible? They do. So that goes into the next thing here with what is Basic Fun going to do, Glenn, now that they have the licenses that Arcade One basically fumbled the ball, and basically they were on the 1 yard line. They were at the top, and now they fumbled that football. Basic Fun picked it up. Maybe even turned around, gave it a little chuckle, and now they're running to the other goal. But how do you think it's going to turn out, Glenn? What's your opinion on they're going to take those licenses? What do you think they're going to build? Talk to me. And I think what they're going to do, again, this is speculation on my part. However, I know people, and I know people who know people. My speculation, and I've talked to a few people about this already, is you're not going to see definitely nothing better than what Arcade One Up has put out. Okay, I'm going to say if we're lucky, you're going to get basically what Arcade One Up has already been putting out there: the thin wood, the clone controllers and buttons, inexpensive SBC in there running the ROM. That's what you're going to see. Now, you're not going to see that. You are not going to see a high-end machine from Basic Fun. Yeah, I already know for a fact that's not the case. You are going to get probably the same price points between $300-$600. Well, we already saw the prices. They already released the prices on them. So they're already saying Arcade One Up sold the same stuff that we're going to sell at this price. So they're going to continue that along. I just want you to set your expectations set that when they sell these items, they are going to be basic fun. They're going to be the minimum they have to do to make it look nice. Again, I think these look nice. I think these. I think there will be an attempt. I do believe there'll be an attempt to get the basic shape of, say, a cabinet like a centipede or Star Wars cabinet or Turtle cabinet. I think you will get that. I think you'll get halfway decent artwork. Definitely artwork that's not going to rub off. I can guarantee you're not going to have arcade artwork to rub off on it. But you are not going to. You'll probably also get it better than a clicker spinner if there's any spinner games. I'm sure they'll do those things. But I just want to set the expectations. Well, I'll admit I had a relationship with Basic Fun probably 7 years ago. Basically, because we have the Basic Fun fan page. I do suggest anyone out there who's on Facebook does join the Basic Fun fan page. It's actually done by Bruce Yeager and myself on that one, and it died out. Like it was there, wasn't much on it, but now activity's going through the roof because now these new cabinets are coming out. So I think what you're going to see regurgitated from Basic Fun, Pac-Man, Centipede, Star Wars, and Turtles. Now, is that a bad thing? No. They did, and that's what I'm saying. So my friend, no, they will not. They will not. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm actually only worried in one case in that because the emulation for Star Wars was not done by Arcade 1UP, right? So if Basic Fun can talk to them and license that same software, I think they'll be golden because that is the best emulation of Star Wars Empire. And unfortunately, Return of the Jedi is not a very good game, but at least it's emulated decent. They did a beautiful job with the emulation, and the yoke was decent. Now they've touted to Chris Boris that their yoke is better. I'm going to tell you right now, the yoke is going to be pretty much the exact same the Arcade 1UP had. It's going to be plastic. It's going to be 2 potentiometers. Is there anything wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. And hopefully, if they do use the same technology, my yoke will go right in. I don't have to change anything. It'll be great. I'll be fine with it. Right. I'll be totally fine with that. But I just want the expectations here. When these machines come out, they're not going to be, trash. They're going to be what we've been used to already from Arcade 1UP and, Acade. It's going to be that type of wood. It's going to be that type of build. Now, will it need a riser? Potentially not. Potentially they'll build it in one piece. That I can't say for sure. But I can say the wood and the quality is going to be what we've already kind of been expecting from Arcade 1UP. Oh, and we did get a couple super chats I got to get. We got another one from Kevin Clausen, a $2 super chat. Both Glens are cooking Arcade 1UP right now. Hells yes, we are. You're going to get some Vader for that one. If I can find him. Where's my Vader? Vader.
You have failed me for the last time.
And Arcade 1UP has, because they're done. They're done. And we got another super chat, I do believe, here from Twisted Gaming TV once again. To expose the copper. You can see in here there's people are saying they couldn't hear you. Hopefully they can hear you now. Let's see. See if Glenn is working.
Did I drop out?
Well, they said your mic was not working, but again, I was talking over you for so damn long. Who was gonna know? But hopefully it's working right now.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I agree. I think Arcade 1UP is done. I mean, I think a large part of their fan base has switched over to Iconic Arcade. Which I don't understand why. If people want to just kind of throw money on a fire pit, sure. Why not? But I think between Iconic Arcade servicing now and between Basic Fun coming out, I think the FU coming out, I think it's really just the final nail in the coffin. I just don't see Arcade 1UP lasting much longer after this year.
I don't, and again, I am just shocked about their supposed cease and desist they put out there. It's a scummy thing to do when, it's like you're stealing from people's houses,
Yeah.
and then someone steals from you and you get pissed off about it. You're a thief.
Yeah.
I mean, get real. So
I
again,
mean, I don't know what to think about that cease and desist. I mean, like Michael B had pointed out, it's like, well, on one hand, it's like if there really was a cease and desist, why can you still go through that other sister site and still order them? So there is something about that, but it's also, if you're putting out, my feeling is if you're putting out a brand new product and you're really
Right.
trying to push it, you'd make sure the effing website, the main website that everybody's going to go to, would work.
Right.
So I'm just thinking, it's like, well, where is the sister site based out of? Is there some kind of loophole they discover where they can still sell them because it's another entity? I don't know. Just the whole thing just seems too weird.
People don't realize I was punishing you for being late. I just had your mic off the whole time. They're like, we can finally hear you now. I was punishing Glenn.
Literally, it's been off the entire time.
I
That's funny.
guess. I suppose so. But again, you come to Kickin' Old Skool realizing that there's going to be audio issues. It's what I
That's
do.
funny.
But I do want to say once again, if you do want to find out more about the lawsuit between Atari and hopefully Crush's Arcade 1UP, do go check down in my show notes. We have James Hates Everything. He has part 1. He's talking about doing a part 2. Definitely go over it and watch that video. But of course, wait till after Super Game Room dudes tonight
Yeah.
before you do so. Yeah. So as far as that goes, Arcade 1UP, I think that they're done. Basic
Yeah.
fun, again, just set your expectations. And that's what I generally do. When I get a product, whether I'm doing a review or I purchase it for myself, I have to put myself in the mindset of what was the product intended for. Now, I may want it because I want it, but it doesn't mean I should expect, these basic fun, these little units here to be the same thing as New Wave Toys and Numbskull. That's not what they were intended for. These are you walking through the supermarket and you go, what's that? Check that
Yeah.
out. That's pretty cool. $20. I'm going to take it home. So that's what it was about. But now they're getting into the between 300 and 800 or 599 with an $800 value, whatever that means. I mean, if that's the case, my FU is going to be a $5,000 value you guys are going to get for a song when a Kickstarter starts.
Yep.
Actually, it's a $10,000 value, but I'm going to sell it to you for cheaper. It's a bullshit
not-
term. What does it mean?
Yep. Not to go off on a tangent, just want to throw a plug out for P-Dubs because he posted on Facebook, and I didn't even know about these until he did it. And I was like, I had to run out to Walmart. So we're talking about collectibles. I picked this up today. This is really cool. Streets of Rage. They just started releasing some. I am desperate now. I need to get. There's 2 Altered Beast figures out there.
Where'd you get this from?
This is Walmart. It's a Walmart exclusive.
Really?
They're $10 a pop. So they released this one. There's the Monkey Ball one. There's 2 figures from Altered Beast in the new series, but I have to hunt these down. But thank you for P-Dubs for pointing these out on stream because I'm a huge Streets of Rage fan. I'm a huge Altered Beast fan. So I'm like, I ran out today and I had to at least find this one so far. They're only sold in
Michael
stores.
B just said you plug in P-Dubs is lame. That's what Michael B just said. Michael B just said you have audio now, you plug in P-Dubs. It's lame. We're only at 8:47. Okay, a couple things I want to talk about here as well. So I want to talk a little bit about the FU. I'm going to also post some information in the Facebook group because it's been quiet because I literally have been going crazy because of the tariffs and all the prices have been going up. And I've been pretty adamant of what I want the machine to sell for. So, number one, we're still shooting for the Kickstarter to go live before the end of this month. That's number one. Number two, I will a few days before the Kickstarter goes live, I will announce the price point and the special deals, I guess early bird specials type of thing. I shown a few people the early bird specials, and their eyes popped out of their head, which is the reaction I wanted to see, which is good. We will have basically 100 special early bird specials for the 19-inch FU. We will have 100 special early bird specials for the 26-inch FU. And then we'll have 50 ultra special, ultra incredible price deal for a specific machine as well. So I will announce that a few days before the Kickstarter goes live, so you guys can say and have a chance to get in there. Now, am I expecting to beat my goal in 2 minutes? No. I mean, that's amazing. I think that the pinball machine, the Alice in Wonderland, I can't congratulate them enough. I think they did a phenomenal job. Last time I looked, there were like 511,000, like 500 packers. That's phenomenal. I don't need that. I do just want to meet my goal. I would like to do
Right.
that. But we're going to have at least 250 ultra incredible early bird special deals that you, again, even if you miss out on them, the regular Build-A-Cade FU 19-inch and 26-inch will still be at a price that is unmatched. I was watching Steps Gaming uh, show before this live stream, and she was talking about no one builds a quality machine anymore. I'm like, oh, someone does, and it goes, well, licensed. Well, I have a license. I have the Adventures of Robbie Roder. That's a Bally Midway game. It's fully licensed. I also have the Ikari sticks, which are fully licensed. I have a lot of licenses, but I think you
So when you're
guys
talking about these special deals, bundled deals with maybe additional control panels, things like that, right? Is that what you're talking about?
maybe
And
potentially.
now, so here's a question. Let's say I miss out on that special deal. Will those individual products that are in the bundle still be available to order through the
Absolutely.
Kickstarter? Okay.
Absolutely. We just want to, and again, this is was more of me. I want to always give back as much as I can. Like Shadow does the same thing. You know,
Right.
Shadow gives back to the community. You guys have supported me uh, so well over the years, and I am so grateful for the support you guys have given me back. The small guy, the little guy, and
And if,
because I'm
and if
one
you
of you guys.
and if you could prove that you've canceled your iconic arcade orders, are there additional discounts?
No, no, I don't want to. I don't want to do that. Although, damn, that's a good idea, Glenn. But no, I don't want to do that. I think there's room and space in the community for everyone. I really do think there's space and room for everyone.
Well, it goes back to the old saying, you get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. You get well, but that's the thing. I am over giving. When you guys see this deal,
Yeah.
you're not going to know. It's
Look,
insane.
what
This
have
is
I always said to you behind the scenes? I'm like, Glenn, how do you're not going to last if you don't make any money. I'm like, why are you giving? I've always said, I'm like, you need to charge more. You need to charge more. And I'm a fan too. Look, I'm buying this stuff. So I can only imagine what these prices are going to be. I mean, I have some clue because we've talked about it, but I haven't seen the latest bundles
yep.
on there.
So
So
we, and I'm going to say this all as well. You know, we're fighting really hard because there's a tariff. The tariff is going to be in place by the time this is
yeah,
done. So
it's
I've been
bad
working
timing and for everyone.
very, very hard to absorb the tariff, and it's a sizable amount. Uh,
Yeah.
but I want to absorb that in, and that's eating to again us. But I don't want to pass it on to you guys if I can. Now it's you have to wait till the actual Kickstarter launches because what Glenn this one does a lot, and I talked about Michael B just the other day about this is because people are saying, all these things with lawsuits and stuff in the background that Glenn, people are hearing stuff that you do. I tell people what I do. I don't. I'm honest. I tell straightforward where I'm at, what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
sometimes that's bad because my competition finds out all the things that I'm working on early.
You're too transparent.
I am, but the difference is they can copy. I mean, obviously, Arcade one up can steal, but they can copy, but they don't do it with the quality and
Yeah.
the TLC and the attention to detail that I do. So it's entirely fine for someone to borrow an idea, but you're going to get one that's $5 that they spent 3 cents making, and you're spending $5 on it, or you can get mine where I spent $4.75 for your $5. There's the difference. You can go for company A that spends 13 cents for your $5, and you're getting 13 cents of value really in that $5, or me spending $4.75 at the $5 value you're getting, and that's the GRS T-Sticks difference. And I'm hoping that again, once the FU cabinet gets out there, and especially the people who back it early and get these amazing deals, once people get in their hands and their friends see it, and their friends see it, and their friends see it, that's I think we're finally there. The bad thing from us in the past was when you make parts, when you make a joystick, or you make a Tron stick, or you make a flight yoke, or you make a spinner, you make the parts. You don't have the control of the rest of it, right? And that was the big thing with like Steve Jobs. And I was never a Steve Jobs fan per se, because I do believe people should have the choice to do with their items what they want. But the one good thing he did do was, if you control the production, the software, the integration, the testing, and the final product, put it out there, and you can still modify it. I want you guys to modify it. But at least if I can control all of that and get it into your hands, you're going to get the absolute best of everything as your starting
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Again, you can leave it stock. I think it'll look great stock. But if you want to add things to it, you will never have a better starting point with the GRS Build-A-Cade FU, or like people are finding now with the regular Build-A-Cade. I mean, Glenn, you have a couple of Build-A-Cades.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They're sitting actually right off camera.
But of course off camera. Why would he not have it off camera?
Sorry.
We've only got a couple minutes left. I haven't really been looking at the chat here, so I'm going to see if I can answer some questions. Glenn, see if you see anything in the chat that we should talk about, and I'll do the same
Let's
right here.
see. Kinda
Chris
scanning through here.
is asking, Glenn, will all the control decks be available to purchase during the Kickstarter? They should be. They're definitely going to be included in certain bundles. We're still trying to figure all that part out, logistics, because as you start adding a lot of individual things on the Kickstarter, everything gets more expensive. But I will say that we will always offer the control panels on the T-Sticks website. So even if when the Kickstarter's done, if you don't want to get them right away, which is fine, we will offer them on the T-Sticks website. But also remember, the good thing about this is that there'll be other companies you can buy just the wood, a pre-cut
Right.
piece of wood, and add all your controls. You can cut the wood yourself. We're going to give everyone all the dimensions for everything, so you can modify this thing into all these incredible shapes and sizes.
And that'll be all available at launch, you think, with the third-party vendors?
They will be involved. Yeah. So when the Kickstarter goes live, third-party vendors will have the dimensions for everything. So they can start doing artwork, control
In
decks,
advance, right?
modifying things, lasers,
And when do
Terminator
you still
heads, all
think?
that
When
stuff.
do you still think this will actually release? That we'll actually see products still? Has anything changed with the roadmap?
No, not yet anyway.
So I think you were still saying what, fall, right?
Still, it should be fall. Yes, we're shooting big time for fall. He voted wrong. Upstating Game said he voted wrong. Let me check. I totally forgot about the my poll, which was, do you think Arcade 1UP is now Arcade DoneUP? 82% said yes. 18% are wrong.
Interesting.
No one got that? 82% are correct with yes, and the 18% no are wrong. But yeah. We'll let that poll keep going a little while longer here. Game Fridge is asking, are you actually using Kickstarter site or another site? Originally, we were going to use Kickstarter. Then we were going to go just do it on our own site and do it from there. But we started thinking about the logistics of collecting all that stuff. It's a little safer, I think, for everyone using Kickstarter, I think, than going through ourselves. So it will be launching on Kickstarter, just like the pinball machine was just done. Now, I know people have gotten burned at Kickstarter. I got burned for a robotic lawnmower, $1,200. Scam me out of the money because I was lazy. I was like, yeah, I'll get a robot lawnmower, have it do the thing. Yeah, they scammed me. Never happened. They scammed about 600 people out of money. So it does happen. But I will say that if anyone knows me, we've had a Kickstarter before. That's how the Star Wars flight yoke came into being. We were asking for $30,000 for that, and we actually got over $50,000. I think $52,000 for it. And if you want to look even back at that Kickstarter and kind of look at what we did for the early birds, and mega bundles with that and the price that we did with that should give you an indication how much I'm a nut job when it comes to giving value to you guys.
I have an idea for a new robotic lawnmower.
I'm listening.
Just slap a tinfoil hat on your son and tell him, get the hell out there and roll the lawn.
Yeah, that won't happen. He did it once. I actually did my video when I modified the Super Impulse Pac-Man with the Raspberry Pi Zero. When I did that video, he was outside cutting the lawn for me. It was part of the intro of the video, and he takes all kinds of allergy medicines, but it just killed him. That was the last time he ever cut the lawn, unfortunately.
Did it really? And he just said that. Might be smarter than you think.
He could be, but he wasn't taking it over me. Yes. So
I know
I'm
yeah.
sorry, Glenn. So Jared asked, will you have the Kickstarter link in the Facebook group? Yes. So there'll be the Facebook group link and information will be announced a couple days early. You guys will kind of know these early bird specials that'll be available. It'll be on X. It'll be on my channel here, and it will be definitely in the FU Facebook group. Absolutely will be, and the T6 website.
I know we're running close to the hour,
Yes.
and I really wish I was on the Kathleen Kennedy Star Wars episode because I had so much to say about that one. So I want to throw out there a tease, which hopefully you'll revisit in a not too distant episode. Is an Empire Strikes Back sort of teaser cliffhanger ending for this episode. Is since all of that came out about her exiting, now there's, of course, if you've been following, she's like, oh, but wait, I'm not, could be a year from now, I'm still working on all the movies. So
Could do that. And actually,
the dark side has not completely been
now the thing is, I know Mr.
eliminated.
Glenn has got a new job, which he's killing it at. He's already gotten promoted like 50,000 times in his job, but I'm gonna have to poach him at some point to do a FU video because we're gonna need an FU video. So I'm gonna have to poach him. But Glenn, how are you doing at the new job? I know you're like senior ultimate vice president of global domination.
It's my job has changed 50 billion times since I was hired 8 months ago as a customer marketing manager for North America for this global company to now where it's like I'm now the marketing manager for global. So, and I have to go for like a week to Paris in June. So it's crazy. It's been very crazy times.
It is, but I know you're gonna do well. I know it's a lot of work though. People, everyone's job, they pile on more and more. And from what you're telling me, they are dumping dumpster loads on you
It's been busy.
right
It's
now.
been very busy.
And we're gonna end this poll.
But count me in on FU for sure. I'm all in when it comes to that.
Boom. Okay, the poll is closed, and it was basically 81% said our Arcade 1-Up is done. 90% of people are wrong. So there we go.
Yeah, hopefully when we get the New Year's Eve ball drop next year, that'll be also the death knell.
Distant Earth,
Arcade
welcome.
1-Up.
Paris is an awesome city. You'll enjoy it. How are you going to be in Paris?
It's looking like probably a good week.
Nice. I mean, hopefully I have time to look around a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be locked in an office for at least 3 or 4 days, so I'll probably be taking some extended days because I'm like, if I'm going all the way to Paris on the company's dime, yeah, I want to look around, enjoy myself a bit. My wife is jealous.
Well, Glenn, I appreciate you joining. I know you were late. I'll spank you for that later. But I guess the audio problems was my fault on there. So I do want to thank you, dude, for joining and discuss this a little bit with me. I really appreciate all you guys here in the chat every week. Definitely take a look at James Hates Everything and watch Super Gamer Dudes. I'm certainly going to talk a little bit about that as well tonight. My take is sell the Arcade 1-Ups while you can before they're absolutely worth nothing. Junk. But I do appreciate you guys. What do you got there, Glenn? What are you getting?
I was going to say a shameless plug. Vinegar Syndrome available right now is the possession of Joel Delaney.
Oh, that was the one you were working on, right?
That's one of the most recent ones that I did a documentary featurette on. So you can pick that up through vinegarsyndrome.com. That's one of the latest ones.
Nice. If you send me the link, I'll add it to the notes. Shoot me up the
Sounds
link for it.
good. Sounds
And
good.
for everyone else out there, listen, have a great weekend. Thank you for joining once again. I always love when you guys watch me go on my tirades. It's always fun. Have a great time, but remember, no matter how much you side with one party or the other, remember, it's just games. It's toys in all respect. Nothing should take precedence over family, friends, and loved ones. Make sure you always take a moment to tell everyone you love them, because tomorrow is never promised. You could be here today, gone tomorrow. Make sure they know that you care. But in between those times, listen to the goddamn end of the show song and then game on. Right, Glenn?
And F you.
F you. F you all in 2025, motherfuckers.
On cartridges, hit reset. 8-bit dreams, can't lose that bet. Floppy disks and arcade lights. Pac-Man, Frogger, we're playing all night. Simpsons in the background, neon in the air. 80s turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades, TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school. MTV playing our favorite jams, moonwalking with MJ, neon slam. Ghostbusters gear, we're ready to go, chasing slasher scenes, fears in tow. Back to the future, hop in the DeLorean. Night Rider cruising, man, there's no ignoring 'em. Battlestar Galactica, what a ride. Looney Tunes antics, pure joy inside. Blockbusters ruled, we lined up for days. Video games booted up in the pixelated maze. Movie marathons and popcorn nights, we ruled the screen, living in the lights. It's time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school. Grab your joystick, the game's about to start. A high-score world, now that's an art. We're cruising on hoverboards, living our dream. Old school forever, we're igniting the scene. It's time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school.